Degree Theory, we're back and we're changing the things up a little bit. We're changing from being a therapy show, and now we're actually going to be talking about some real shit. And so what we decided to do is to have a whole year plan.
Developing a program.
Developing a 12-year program. Developing a 12-month program. So that 12-month program is going to be built up into month-long blocks. So our first block that we're starting with is month 1, and we'll be talking about mindset. And this block is going to be broken up into 2 phases. 2 weeks of getting information and sharing it, and then 2 minutes of implementing that information and making something of it. The first topic is going to be about mindsets, and what we're going to be, basically talking about why it's important. So like one of the things about mindset is like, being able, like you said, right?
Oh, you gotta finish what you start, so you have to know your abilities, you have to have that confidence, also know your weaknesses, and you gotta be true to yourself, and so then you can tackle that goal, and nothing's gonna get in your way because you have that right mindset.
As far as mindset goes, I think that what we want for ourselves is to develop such a positive mindset that we're able to overcome anything that comes our way. And after doing all... Sorry, But yeah, I think that we've all been on a journey to become financially free, and not just that, that's just an aspect of it, but we want our mindset to be able to take us further than we've ever been and do things that we want to do, everybody wants to do.
Exactly. And it's our hope to like gather good information that you can all use to like make yourself able and willing to make something of yourself, to be able to make and create wealth for yourself. Because it takes a team, and that's what we're trying to show, that when you combine people with the same mindset and the same goal, you can do anything and actually make some real stuff happen. So we decided to start with mindset on our way to eventually getting the 7 different streams of income. And we feel like with mindset, it's a good place to start because you can't accomplish anything and go forward with it unless you have a good mindset. And part of having a good mindset is implementing good habits and strategies for you to be able to actually maintain a good mindset. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So,
yeah.
As far as mindset goes, I don't know, what's a good place to start? A strategy that you can implement?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
Or how about like the mindset that we want? Or like I touched on it a bit. Do you want to touch on it, Derek?
On the whole strategy aspect of it, for me, using the Miracle Morning Routine. So this is based off of a book, which talks about really good game plan, morning game plan, and that's something that's really helped for me, and just kind of I'm trying to get back into that right now actually, and it's so it's Savers, right? So Savers, so that's that's the abbreviation for all the different things that you would do in the Miracle Morning.
Derek, like really quick, like like you said the acronym is SAVERS. That's like a morning routine you can do?
Yeah.
What is the acronym? Like what is each thing?
Let's see. Dude, I don't know off the top of my head right now. Alright, so cut this part out.
So Derek, you said the acronym is SAVERS, right?
Yep.
What was each one? Like what were they?
So it breaks down. So with the first one with S, so that's for silence. So spending a short amount of time in your in the morning with starting out with some sort of silence, whether it's fucking Okay, so the SAVERS acronym. So it for with the S, it's SAVERS. A, affirmations. V, visualization. E is exercise. R is fuck, dude.
You don't remember?
It's reading, and then the last one's
oh yeah, reading. Yeah, and then S is gonna be scribing.
Okay.
So journaling, writing and journaling and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you do that like one after another every morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just spend like a short amount of time on it
On each one.
on each one, and it kind of, unless you want to spend more time. you know, he just kind of mentions in the book that you can, you know, if you're kind of crunched in the morning, if you have a lot going on, you know, just spend like 2 minutes on each one. And if you're somebody that has more time in the morning, just spend, you know, 5 to 10 minutes if you want, or more than that, you know, each one.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool. That's
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
I like that.
Because yeah, you can do jumping jacks and get the heart rate pumping in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know,
That's
I mean,
the
like,
point
you don't
of
need
it.
that
And
much
it's 6
time, but-
things, so
Yeah.
if you wanted to, like if you had an hour, you
That's
could
6
do
things.
each one. Yeah, you could do each one for 10 minutes and just take up an hour of your day.
Yeah.
6 degree theory. Damn,
Yeah.
That's why it's really important to like.
Six.
Oh, dude.
That's why it's super important to like wake up, you know, really
Yeah.
early. You know, that's what people do.
Mhm.
And they found that like most of the people who own a company or make real money or do anything actual
4, 8,
worth it,
like 4 something.
they do all the 6 of those things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you want to live the best type of life, man, do what the best do. You know.
So like,
Simple.
nice.
Alright.
I like it, man. Alex, strategy, bro.
So
What do
strategy.
you got for us?
All right. So a strategy I have that is really prevalent in my life. I like to write things down. You know, keeping things down on a pen and paper like kind of collects my mind a bit. So like that's one strategy you can implement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those was the
Oh, yeah,
essence
man.
savers, scriptures.
Yeah.
Like,
Scriptures.
Scribing. You know?
Is that something you do for yourself?
That's something I do for myself all the time. Yeah.
When you're sad, when you're happy?
No, when I'm just stressed and my mind's boggled, you know, don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What do you feel like happens when you do it?
To be honest, it really just puts my mind at ease. It really does, like, because I have everything on paper, you know, because, like, because you got so much to do in a day, and then, like, especially when you plan things out and you let things, like, because you procrastinate a lot, and that's something I'm really bad at. I'm really bad at procrastinating, and, like,
Oh, really?
yeah, that's the reason why I have that, like, board next to my room that has all those, like, Monday, like, through Sunday of things I need to do, and so, like, I don't know, I don't write to have, like, to, like, really, like, alleviate stress, but I write to, like, collect my mind.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a strategy I use all the time, and especially in the morning, you know, when you're like pacing back and forth, stressed out what you want to do the next day or like the next couple minutes. See that, but it's pretty legit.
Exactly, and things are really fast paced nowadays too, and people tend to get scrambled easy, you know, especially if you have a big schedule through the week, and it's a good way of just, you know, keeping it simple and just doing, at least just getting like one task done a day, you know, just like kind of prioritizing that one is good.
Do you guys ever find yourself, like, instead of doing something productive like that, like just going on your phone and distracting yourself
Yes.
from the feeling of having to do something?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
hate that I do that.
Yeah,
I'll go on
that's one of my
Instagram or
problems
Google and I'm
nowadays.
constantly searching for like some kind of stimulus to override that feeling of stress that I'm not doing something I should be.
Which is
Yeah.
why you're still stressed about that one thing.
Yeah,
It
but I
makes
can just
sense.
literally just peel off the band-aid and just get handled, you feel me? But it's so much easier just to lay on the couch and just do that.
Yeah.
Because all you gotta do is pick it up. When after I actually get up, open up my bag, take out a journal, get a pen.
I think one thing you can also honestly do every morning. It's probably another thing you could probably also like a strategy is like turning off your phone for like a couple hours in the morning.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's such a big distraction, you know, because it gets you out of bed. Like, I don't know, I wake up and I'm like on Instagram, like immediately. And like, I know a lot of people have that same problem. So that could be another strategy, someone can like implement, better your mindsets, you know, so groggy in the morning.
I really like that.
Because you wake up at 8 a.m., you stay in bed till like 10, you know, just on your phone, chilling.
Sure.
You know, so check out my emails, check out my notifications, like, come on.
What do you think that does to like your brain when you wake up and that's the first thing you do?
It's instant gratification, dude. You know,
Yeah.
you're instantly just like, oh, I got new stuff to look at. You know, even though like 10 hours ago, I was just like, or like 6 hours ago or 5 hours ago, I just woke up, you know, went to sleep, and that's what I was doing before I went to bed.
I think like what you said, it's like you're kind of putting away something that you know you should be doing. Like you wake up and you should already start your first task, but since you're like, well, I just woke up and I want to take the easy way out, and so I'll get to that task and like after I'm done, you know, looking at all the feed, liking all the pictures, all my friends, you know, stuff like that. So like I said, some days like you know I do you know kind of just chill and like silence for 10 minutes, but then like it varies, but I need to work on like being consistent, you know, with that, because you do feel good, you know, when you do that. Just like, you know, without music, because I love music, but then again, it's like playing music all day it also isn't good for you, like anything, like you know, you have to have moderation. So
And I just want to let you guys know too, every single website, social media wise, is meant to keep you there as long as possible. That's why when you're scrolling, you only get like one post every single time. There's easier ways to see information. They have grids, they have all that shit, right? But those things are made to keep you in one spot to see as many ads as possible. So
They're
just think
designed.
they're designed
to
to
be
keep you in there so you can get more money, more information, more ad revenue just for that one app.
Yeah.
This is why there's one grid or one. That's why you see
One view.
one view.
Oh,
Instagram,
I see.
Snapchat, Tumblr, anything. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of
on
stimuli
top.
nowadays, you know, like we're pretty much like
No, that's a picture.
overloaded, you know,
Yeah.
stimuli and like,
Oh.
I mean, giving yourself that break, you know, that whole break from everything, you know, if you're in your room and you have nothing on, you know, no phone, no nothing, just like almost sit in silence or just have like relaxing, you know, meditation music. I mean, that's gonna really like give yourself some like more clarity in a way throughout your day, you know.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it too.
Dude, I think that segues perfectly into like the strategy I want to talk about, which was like how to like implement new habits and like things to like keep those habits rolling. And so like if you were trying to start that new habit of like not picking up your phone when you first wake up, or taking 10 minutes to like be quiet, creating that new habit should be as easy as possible. So I feel like doing that, what's one way you can make not picking up the phone easier?
Have it off before you go to bed.
Have it off before you go to bed. I was thinking like
You
just
have
have
it
it
away.
away, charged up on the other wall, yeah.
So you walk and
So
then
you-
just that's
Exactly.
it.
That way you don't just.
Yeah.
So that's one way. Like, and there's other little things too that I'm sure you guys can talk about, like for your morning routine or strategy. Just make it hella easy to do it. Like, don't set yourself up for like making it harder. Or make a bad habit harder to do, and make a good habit easier to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's true.
And to be honest, you're killing two birds with one stone. You can put your phone away, like far away from the bed, because
Then you have to wake up and go get it.
You
Yeah.
get up.
Yeah.
You're right. You have to get up
Yeah.
and make your bed.
Yeah, make your
Well,
bed.
that's another habit, but
Like a strategy for
And
me.
radiation, you know. So health wise, right there too. You know, less radiation while you're asleep.
Oh, because the phone.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's isotope.
That's true.
I mean,
Microwaves.
Just kidding.
frying your brain, bro, first
Yeah.
thing in the morning instead of eating some fried eggs, you know?
What were you gonna say, Derek?
I mean, a strategy for me is like, I'll pick up, like for me, like when I first wake up in the morning, I think it is important to check your phone. And like all I'll do is just, I'll press my side button on my phone, look and see if I have any messages that are important or missed calls. You never know. And I'll do that, and if there's nothing, I'll just tap it off, put it away. I'll just throw it away, you know?
Situational.
Yeah, just kind of a quick thing, you know, because, you know,
Or
you gotta check your phone. You know, you gotta make sure nobody's texted you in the middle of the night or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I feel that. But, I don't know.
I got no one like that. So.
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
It depends
I'm just
how-
yeah.
How strong-willed you are to begin with, probably.
I think my preference though, even then, like even something the worst happened, right? I think if I at least spend at least like 10 minutes, like you said, being quiet and coming back to center, I could react to a bad situation even better. So let's say let's say someone actually did like something bad did actually happen. At least I've already taken care of myself, and now I can take care of them better. So I think even then, I think it's gonna benefit whoever's going through some shit
Yeah.
that you care about, and yourself if you actually take the time to take care of yourself first. So for my preference, bro, I think still like I'm strongly against like picking up the phone no matter what first thing in the morning. Because I mean you're playing Russian roulette. Let's say like first thing you wake up to is like some horrible shit happened. Like you're not gonna be able to handle that well. Yeah,
Instant
like,
bad mindset.
instant bad. Yeah, worst thing. I don't know. You know.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Might not even be fully awake and drive off and then crash. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
No, that's a good
in life,
point.
in life, like figuratively.
That's
That's a very good point. Maybe you're
That's-
still haven't fully awake yet. Or maybe you dreamt it and now you realize you're in your fucking underwear in your car for no reason and you're like, shit, I was still actually asleep. I should have taken another 5 minutes to make sure I was awake.
Nah, it just varies. It just honestly depends on the person. I think.
No, I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, situational, like you know, the chances of it being an emergency, less, you know, but yeah, it happens.
That's what I feel where you're coming from, bro. I bet, like.
Well, I mean, not like really, like not just emergency. I mean, I'm just saying, like, what if somebody like has an important question, what if something from a work situation or whatever the case is. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but I think that's good because at least you already had the thought of like, hey, I'm just gonna click it and already put it away. So there, it gives you a little bit more power than just like the usual routine of like, you get what I mean? Because you're already like, you're like, oh well, I'm gonna stay here. Like I'm gonna click it, but I'm gonna stay here for like 5 minutes. The other one's like, click it, go off. But it's like, because you already have that in your head. You're like, I'm just gonna click it and go off. But then you're like, oh shoot, emergency. Well, today's an exception. You know, because it's an emergency. But if it wasn't an emergency, I'm gonna turn it on.
I
like,
feel it.
You know what I mean?
It's still
like,
up.
it was in there. Like your intention was to turn it on and off. That was it.
Definitely, man.
And I don't know if you have good self control.
Yeah, it's almost practicing more self control. Because I mean, it's easier to like put the phone aside and not see it at all. But it's so much harder to actually pick it up.
Yeah.
And then decide to set it down.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I commend you actually, bro. That's like that's a lot harder. But I bet that's a muscle that you're flexing all the time. And like, if you're flexing that muscle, I mean, how many other things are you deciding to put back down after picking it up? You know? I like it.
Like for me, I just don't. I've never like been into like the phone stuff, like you know, the social media stuff and all that. Like I like to get on for like a quick minute, but for me, like I can't be on it all the time. Like I just prefer picking up a book, prefer making that cup of coffee, actually like focusing on that, and like maybe like watching a little bit of NFL Network or something, whatever the case is. You know, like
I like NFL Network too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like an old school.
Yeah, that
old
I feel like I'm still have like that old school like '90s kid. You know? Yeah.
You're lucky, man.
He's like picture yourself in the cabin and drinking this like nice warm.
It's like you're like looking at the coffee.
Pictures on my wall and stuff. You know, just like kind of just like focusing on the moment. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am.
The way I enjoyed it is like just the coffee. That's it. You and the coffee for the whole cup, and it's like okay, book. Tree. Just fucking.
No, me and my roommate have like beach pictures all over the place. Like I feel like I'm like dialed in. Like I just like waking up to these nice pictures and all that. You know, just like.
Oh, that's cool. You know, just get your space now. Like
that kind of brings us to our next one, which is like affirmations, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like affirmations, like. What's your guys' affirmation?
My affirmation. Okay, I guess I'll start. I think my affirmation just kind of goes with like building habits again. I feel like for you to actually change that, you need to have your identity like affirm that you're that person. So I think you affirm your identity when you're like taking action. So every time you, let's say like you're trying to write a book, you know, you have to refer to yourself as a writer instead of saying I'm someone that's trying to write a book. You need to like own the identity. And I feel like in order for you to own the identity, you have to affirm that identity by taking steps into action towards it. So every time you sit down and go to Starbucks and start writing, you're like adding another token to that belief that you are a writer. And you're only just making it stronger and stronger, that identity. Right. So I feel like affirming your identity to me is like super important. Whether if you're trying to accomplish some big shit, like you know, anything big, anything really.
It's pretty psychological, huh? Like if you keep, I mean, it's like your name, right?
Exactly.
Like your reputation. It's like you know, the more that But I'm trying to be like Adrian's reputation is like a good, you know. Adrian, the author, you know what I mean? You know, he just slowly gets better and better, and like, you know, you feel good about like when someone says your name, like, because you're like, yeah, I stand behind my beliefs, you know, everything that makes you you. You know?
Yeah. That's interesting. That kind of makes me want to, like, when I take a shower, I just kind of want to tell myself, I am Chris. I am everything. Whatever it may be.
I love it. Just go down a list of things and almost have it like a poster on the opposite wall of your shower.
Yeah, like, cool. I kind of want to do that.
Just laminate it.
And at the end it's like, I am a lion. Like picture of a lion. That's how you remember. And then you hit the door.
In the shower?
This is my kingdom. Okay. So
I think what I usually use for so we're talking about affirmations for our goals, right? I think what my affirmations are just looking back through things that I've already gone through and experienced, and like I feel like a lot of people have gone through like very unique situations that were hard for them, like for whatever reason other than just like that's their perspective. You know, we've all gone through something that's been hard for us in one way or another, whether you come from privilege, underprivilege, or not. You know, whatever it may be. I look back to those moments and see that I made it out stronger and more knowledgeable, more intelligent, and I've been able to come out and succeed regardless. You know, I've been able to put one foot in front of the other, and I've been able to keep going regardless. So I just look back on my own experiences, and I see that what I'm going through right now is just another one of those, and I can keep doing it or I can get through it if I just work hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
So you're affirming that you're strong. Like
Exactly.
you
It's
gotta
just
be strong, stay
that I've been
resilient.
strong before, therefore I'm capable of being strong now.
Good.
How long do you feel like that has been carrying you? Like, is that something that you've always been doing for a long time?
I've been I've consciously at least like a year. Consciously at least a
Or
year.
subconsciously? all the
Yeah, I
time?
feel like I've been doing that
Mhm.
longer than that. You know.
That's true.
So, what about? I
That's
think
what
about the
life is.
person who constantly screws up, and then like sees themselves affirming through all their experiences
Yeah,
that they're
yeah.
a screw up.
Exactly.
And they're doing it subconsciously, right?
Yeah.
Probably for the most part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's helping important. Cause I've seen you grow up from like, since you're like a little baby. No, I'm kidding. Probably not the same grade.
So,
Okay.
so we're talking about affirmations, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to affirmations, basically, I'm kind of like absent-minded right now, but Okay.
You don't deserve to be, bro.
what's that?
You didn't smoke that weed.
Oh, mine's not open.
Hey,
So I think for affirmation, I think you have to. I think the first step is like refer to yourself a lot, cause like your name, you hear it a lot and all that stuff. Like going back to the name thing, it's like you think of like, oh, what makes me me. So as long as I keep saying like, I'm happy or I'm smart, you know, it's like it's stronger than just saying smart, cause like smart is just like the word. Who are you referring that to? Like, you know. So just like I'm happy or I'm going to follow my dreams and I'm going to accomplish my dream, you know? Stuff like that. I just think it's like, you know, when you're writing an affirmation down, you know, just include yourself in it. Don't think it's weird, like, yeah, you're referring to yourself.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that too. Because what I wrote down was turn a bad situation to a good situation. So I guess when I wrote that down, I meant more of like, let's say something negative happens, right? But can you name a positive instead of a negative out of that? You know, like how can you turn that situation
See the
around?
silver lining.
Exactly.
Mm.
You know, like
That's a good affirmation. That there's always like a lesson in every failure.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I mean,
Something
you
learned.
cannot achieve anything without any failures. You know, like.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta,
Yeah.
it's building blocks, dude.
Yeah, because a lot of the time, like what you learn is that perhaps you didn't work hard enough, you know,
Yeah.
or you didn't do the right strategy. You know?
Exactly.
Almost take responsibility.
Yeah,
for anything
you have
happens
to,
in
you
your
have
life,
to.
good or
You
especially
should.
bad.
Especially
should.
You can't say like, oh, like for example, a relationship fails or something like that. You can't just be like, oh, it was all her fault. She was a bitch.
No, you gotta look
Like,
back.
nah, you gotta be like, okay, what did I do, or what can I do better in the future so that I don't go through this again?
Exactly.
Right.
What did I learn from it?
Exactly. For me, like another good one is like I'm Christian, I believe in God, and so one thing I say is like, what is God trying to teach me right now? You know, I use that a lot. That's good for myself.
Yeah.
Regardless, you
Yeah.
can still ask yourself, what can I learn from this? You know.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like,
Same
honestly, if you're not in religion, all you have to do is
Totally.
take out the word God, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's like, what I learned, what is God trying to teach me? It's like, what's the word trying to teach me, or what is, like, who's trying to teach you? Like, I don't
What
know.
is the universe trying to show me
Yeah.
to allow me to become a better person so I could better be a better person?
Try to articulate.
I'm trying to like, find a better
That
way.
was good, though. That was
But
good.
as you can see, words are very powerful, and so are affirmations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
Clear.
Let's go on to the differences between the left side and the right side of the brain.
All right.
So,
So
you guys
we
think
actually,
about-
well,
Yeah,
honestly, no.
now
Go
we're
on,
talking
go
about-
on. Yeah, that's fine.
No, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something stupid. Go for it.
No, go for it, dude. I want to hear it.
I want to hear something stupid.
I was gonna be like, well, we have Dr. David David Barker here to speak with us today. In fact, in my phone, he's still saved under David Anatomy because he understands the body and the human mind like anybody better. And so, Dr. Abarca, would you like to?
I'll take it from here, guys.
Would you like to explain to us what the left and right side of the brain is?
I will. You can give your left side of the brain a rest right now because we're not gonna do any math because that's what the left side is really all about. It's all about mathematical stuff, analytical stuff, right? So the left side, see now you're gonna have to switch up to your left side.
We'll get to math later on in the phases.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh, yes, we will.
Just a little sneak preview.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
going to be going into things like the stock market,
Economics of the business and stuff like that.
leveraging debt, all things that do with numbers and making money. But of course, we need to build a foundation first because this is mindset. So
Right.
again, sorry, left and right side of the brain.
So the right side is the visualization part, and like that's more like the imagination, stuff like that, like kind of like daydreaming stuff like that, right? And but we also found out, here's an interesting fact, right? That it's the left side and the right side. Back then they used to think that it was separate. People were like, oh, I use the left side more in my brain. I'm more creative or this and that. But technically, you use both sides of your brain, both hemispheres, and they both work together to just to carry out a daily task. Because like if you're both like synapses and all those things are connecting. It's like a freeway. It's all intersect. It's all has highways and stuff like that, right? So they all just go
They
from
work
A.
in
They all work
conjunction.
from A to B. They all go from A to B. You know what I mean? So it's all connected and but it's good if you want to tell yourself you're more creative and stuff like that because that's a positive affirmation.
Yes, I like that.
I like that. So why do you feel like it's important for someone to understand like the differences between the left side and the right side? Or is there? Can you like maybe like simplify it to like 3 things for each one again?
Like why you should
No, not why. Sorry, like what the left side and
what
what
the
right
left side is?
Yeah.
So the left side is more like mathematical stuff. But honestly, it's like I don't see how you can
So it's like
You know,
math,
like, it's
logic,
just-
stuff
yeah.
like that.
logic. What else was there?
Facts,
Facts.
Yeah.
like statistics or something like that.
Yeah. Like puzzle solving.
Puzzle solving.
Yeah. But like I honestly, to me, it's like doesn't matter if I use more of my right side or left side.
And
It's
what is
just-
the right side?
I think those are just kind of like in a way excuses to avoid like I'm like personally I'm pretty bad at math, but it's like well what do I have to do? Just do more math,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that is true.
It's a skill.
and that's why that's why it's been proven that that's not true that you're more of a right side thinker.
Oh.
It's like a muscle you can develop. Like your brain's very
Oh,
powerful,
that's true.
and you
That's
can
true for
develop
sure.
it if you practice it. If you solve more puzzles, do more things. You can just be as equally strong as you just choose not to use it more, like in a way.
And
You know
just
what I
as
mean?
easily, you can also like lose skills and
Exactly.
stuff like that. Just like, for example, if we're talking about math, if you don't do math all the time, you're gonna forget all that because you're not continuously firing those neurons that are
Yeah.
connecting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Your mind will build more neural pathways to
Right,
whatever
yeah.
it is that you constantly
exactly.
use, right?
So you need to be in perfect practice, like for
Makes
whatever
sense.
that you need to accomplish.
Yeah. So you have the potential in you. You just need to choose if you want to apply it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to be more of a reader or do you want to be more of a mathematical person? It just depends on your preference. But just want to clarify that there's no difference between the left side and the right side of the brain, as in like
People like
Yeah, people.
You're
categories.
not stuck
Yeah.
in one side
yeah,
or the
like,
other.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, people believe that too.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Do both. Challenge yourself. Do both.
Cool.
So you're just not bad at math. You just need to practice it more.
Yep. That's true.
Stop telling yourself you're bad.
Exactly.
Since I suck at math, I say like,
I need to get better.
I
at
need to
it.
get, how can I get better at math?
Exactly.
Like I believe I said I'm not really good at math.
Yeah.
Not really good, but that leaves room for that's a window open and saying like I can get better. I'm not saying I'm not good at math and I will never be good at math. I'm saying I'm not really good at it. Just
Yeah.
there's room for improvement,
Yeah.
and that's what growth is.
You got to change the framework of your perception. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, perception's big, like focusing on what you're, like implementing what you're grateful for. So like you can, like if you want to be good at math, you can start affirming to yourself that I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm really good at math. That's something
Or
more
not that
like
I'm learning
future
math.
wise, and then you can so you can have like you can break it up in two different things. Like you can affirm to yourself what you're grateful for now, and then you can affirm to yourself what you're grateful for in the future, and acting as if it's already happened, you know? Kind of like have that kind of perception.
Like visualization.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You know, no one's actually like good at math. People just put in more work than other people.
Yeah.
I'm sure you start at some point, right? Like
Yeah.
a little bit better, but like,
Yeah,
dude,
it's all.
Every math tutor that I've talked to, since I've been in college, they've all told me the same thing. They're like, dude, I sucked. Like when I first got into college, started doing math, like I couldn't do it. And they're like, dude, you literally just have to read the author. You just read the book, read what the author's trying to say, and literally practice one problem at a time, over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, it'll get easier.
And it's not just, and
Just
when
you
it
just
comes
practice
down
one
to
by
it,
one by one, over and over.
when it comes down to it, especially in things like math, it's not just about the mechanics and knowing how to do something, but it's also why you're doing something, you know? So that also, I think, like really translate well into the whole mindset thing that we're talking about, you know? If you don't understand like if we're still talking about math, you know?
I see, right?
If we're still talking about math and you don't understand the concept of like the derivative, or if you don't understand why you want to like maximize an area, or like why you're applying this skill that you know, then you may be able to get it right a couple times, but you're not gonna know why you did it correctly, or you're just not gonna know like the fundamentals of it.
You like won't retain the
Yeah.
information that you just learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just about mechanics, it's about like knowing the concept and having the reason behind it, you know?
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah, because like all like memorization comes from like actually emotionalizing it, like having like a reason why to do something, right?
Yeah. And it's weird because like I hadn't thought about that before we started talking about it right now, but
Yeah, that's a
Hey,
cool way to,
you know?
That's what's up.
Oh,
yeah.
Because like I really like math, so that like made me think about it like in a weird way. Like I was just thinking about like
And that's balancing the left
Yeah,
and right side of
right
your
side.
brain. That's using your left analytical to solve the problems, but then you're using your right, your emotional side to like.
give you a
It's a
reason.
reinforcement.
And when
It's
you
a
can like do
reinforcement.
both and like to one topic, you retain it, you learn it, you
In
grow
there.
it, it becomes part of who you are.
Yeah.
And that goes with anything else. If you're trying to be a writer, you have to love to write. You have to also feel like writing,
Yeah.
not just like going to work and being analytical and like, you
Yeah.
know, but like
Yeah.
emotionalizing it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just love what we just did right now.
Yeah.
That was natural.
I felt a whole different thing, bro. It was crazy.
It kind of all tied in, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. It's said that that's the trick to getting good grades too, you know, like in school, college and all that, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I
do
mean,
you like
you have to
learning?
emotionalize yourself, and you have to make yourself feel like, you know, you will receive that A. Like affirm to yourself that you will receive the A. Like write it down too, because, you know, it's more powerful doing it that way if you're going to write it, see it, and believe it at the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like is going to the gym torture for you and punishment for yourself? You're not gonna last. But you go there and you enjoy it and you love the squeeze and like feeling the blood pumping through your veins. Fuck yeah, you go there.
Yeah.
That's your lifestyle. You feel me?
Yeah.
Woo! I love you guys.
Flex on us.
Yeah,
Weird flex,
that was
okay.
real.
I'm just kidding. Weird flex, but okay.
Weird flex. Hashtag weird flex.
But okay, you guys know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, I know.
Okay, yeah. I'm just kidding, dude.
Well, like, anyways. So is this where we go into like our personal goals and stuff?
Did we cover
I
everything?
mean, that's like a resource, right?
Oh, sorry, you said resources. Okay.
That's positive thinking, like, you know, your peers. What else? What can be?
So yeah, something that we found we needed to talk about mindset was like resources to help you develop your mindset, and like even resources to affirm your mindset, you know? So
Yeah, that can be like doing like meditation. It kind of like wraps around. It kind of comes full circle, right? Because you're gonna want to find a resource that incorporates all those things that you want, or your goals, those affirmations, you know, the strategy, because they probably have the same strategy, you know. So if you try to find a resource, a book, peers, you know, to help you out in that same, you know, to help you out through your journey, because you'll help them probably through their journey as well.
yeah, and you can try multiple resources as well. Like some of us like listen to podcasts or watch videos,
I
or
love reading.
reading,
That's
or
a good resource.
finding a mentor, peers like we've done.
Yep.
in this group that we hope you guys take this model and develop in your own way.
Yeah, and honestly, it's the reason why we're doing this too is to inspire all you guys to like create your own resource. And one of the best things you can do is develop a network around you that wants to be better, that wants to make money, whatever it may be, you know. And right here is the resource too, you know.
Yep.
So
take the action, get a reward.
you know, over the coming weeks, we're gonna actually write up like a little like PDF booklet on how to actually get this started for yourself. We'll be doing that along
It's
as
gonna
we
be a
go.
whole plan.
And you know, we're starting right here with mindset, and it's the first block, and it's gonna be a long 12-month journey, and so it's gonna be a little bit different kind of video series than you might not be used to. This is different because we want you guys to kind of be along the journey with us and see how we change, and hopefully inspire you guys to realize you guys can do the same thing and duplicate the exact same process that we just did. That's all we're trying to do is just add value to you guys' lives and to ourselves. And it takes a team, and so the more people are doing it, the better.
Yeah.
It's a process, man. Yeah.
Like my information. Follow the
I like
process
that.
and chase your dreams. You know?
So chase those dreams. It starts with mindset. We'll be doing next week with
We'll keep doing mindset for a month. We're gonna dive deeper into what we've talked to today, and the following weeks we're gonna put it to action. We're gonna see what comes to fruition after all the seeds we've sowed. Before we're gonna continue with metaphors.
Gotta plant that seed.
Deep in the crevices of the brain. Dr. David.
you're supposed to say something right there. So, oh, dude, that would have been sick, bro. Because like Chris said something, then Derek, and then you're like in the crevice of the brain, and then you should have been like, and out your ass. Let's do that. Let's do that. Ready? I forgot what you were saying.
I forgot what I was
Fuck it, I forgot what you said.